So, hello, guys. Is risky comedy coming back? And if so, why is that? As you read it, you read the title, here you are. Here I'm going to explain what my thoughts are. And if that's even true, I think it's true. That's what I felt it though, because of the yesterday's Kevin Hart's roast. I saw it here and there, many clips. Great thing, great atmosphere, and great tradition. Does any other country does that? Actually, just comment if you are from, I don't know, Brazil or India. Do you guys do that also, or is it too much? Is it too much? Andale. I don't know. Anyway, I saw some clips and I realized that some risky jokes are coming back. I don't think that some of those jokes would have been okay 10, 15 years ago. 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. I don't know. It felt like comedians were more comfortable doing those types of riskier jokes. If you want to call it risky. I don't know if what is risky to you. For me, it wasn't. I like dark humor. I think it's fine. It releases tension and, I enjoy it. But these are just reasons that I came up with, just without Googling, without AI, just my own little thoughts in my own little head. So feel free to comment. Actually, I urge you to comment what you think about this year's roast. And do you think that some of those things were too much or they were completely fine? We don't need to go to war over this topic. They're just jokes in my book. And let me know what you think. Anyway, I have 3 reasons why I think the risky jokes are coming back. First reason, the second coming of the President Donald Trump. Second reason, Kill Tony and Austin, Texas. Third reason, global situation is getting more serious. So Donald Trump's second win, among many things, was a victory over cancel culture. That's what I think. Look, without getting too political, everything in this life, if it's going too far, it can go too far. We know that. We know that sports is good for you. But if you go too far with it, you can injure yourself or you can actually kill yourself. That shit has happened. So if you want to just take whatever topic you want and you want to go just squeeze and maximize that to the extreme limits, you will have a pushback in society or from other people or eventually from yourself, because nothing can go so far that it almost becomes like a la la land. And when things are taken too far in a dangerous areas, no matter which group you belong to, our moral baseline will shift. Something that was weird in the past can be normal today. And that's something that is creepy for us right now can be normal in the future. So we need to be careful with that. I'll give you an example. You know that health guy, Brian Johnson? He has a Netflix documentary, Don't Die. And he has taken his health very seriously, very to the extreme limits. And I like that. I don't know why he gets so much hate, but I like that. I think it's a very good way for us to learn from what he does and understand human body and health overall. So I'm all for it. Let him do that and let we learn from that. But here's the thing, though. Let's say there's a hypothetical situation when in the future he has massive following, and they all go on about all the time about this health, the extreme limits, health, sleep, blah, blah. We would get tired of that. And, not only that, if they're trying to criticize our lifestyle or not our necessarily, I mean, healthy lifestyle is good, but when they are going too far to teach others or tell others how to live, it will have a pushback, even though what they're trying to do is a good thing because, being healthy is good, But no, nobody would put up with that. I want to live the way I want to live. I want to eat sometimes a burger, then I eat the burger, and that's it. But more power to him. I like what he's doing, though. And I think that's what happened with the extreme far left. And maybe it keeps on going once Trump is gone. I don't know. In my heart, I'm actually very liberal. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Just do whatever the fuck you want. I really don't care. So Trump won. And I think one of the reasons he won was because the American public felt that it was time to have a little break on that. And therefore, I think that's why we saw yesterday more riskier jokes. Well, I called them riskier with, the air signs. I'm doing that right now. You can't see it. I'm calling them that way. For me, it wasn't at all. I'm sure for some it was. Like I said, let me know of that. That's number one. Number two, Kill Tony and Austin, Texas. I actually should have Googled that before I make this part because I don't know how long Kill Tony has been on the air, but at least it has exploded these days. So maybe then it doesn't actually that much matter because now we know what Kill Tony is. Most of us who love comedy and who watch and follow comedians, we know what Kill Tony is. It's an open mic for newcomers, the old timers. You have 1 minute, make a jokes, blah blah blah. It's great. It's great. It's great comedy. It's probably great comedy club, and I absolutely love the jokes, love the comedians, and I regularly watch that. I have felt that over there also people are more fine, more comfortable making jokes that are more borderline risky if that same show would have been somewhere in maybe LA or New York. But in Austin, Texas, and with Kill Tony and Tony as a frontman, they don't feel like they need to be so cautious about that. And that's a great thing for a comedy, and that's a great thing for new comedians. Because I believe that the new comedians, if they're up and coming, then most of those jokes that they have in their head is usually can be something offensive to someone because that's what made it funny in their head in the first place. And therefore some of their best materials can be actually cancelled in some other places, whereas there it can just be open and free.
I went to the cafe yesterday.
Number three, global issues have raised the bar. What I mean by that, I mean, look around. Look around. There's a war in Ukraine. There's a war in Iran. There's a war in Gaza. China wants to act Taiwan, maybe, perhaps. There's a World War III talk all the time, last few years, and now even more. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we live in a time when things like World War III is constantly on the news, and we people just kind of have to go on with our lives. You just do your little, you do your little everyday things almost like cluelessly whether or not something bad will happen or not. Like, I mean, the signs are all there. It's very scary. But here's the thing why I think that why this is also relevant to this topic is because you see when there's so much scary and sad stuff going around the world that I think that some risky joke about weight, height, race, behavior becomes less important and less offensive if we are constantly hearing about war talk. And like a good example is this, like, I feel that there was always 5 years ago at least, there was always talk about global warming and climate change. I don't hear that at all anymore. I really don't, because again, those new big war news have overclouded everything that used to be more important. So I rather take those jokes, laugh over them, release the tension, and I won't take things too seriously. So like Charlie Chaplin said, life is a tragedy when you look at it from a close-up, but absolute comedy from a distance. Thank you very much. See you next time.